Hello and Swaddy Carp, Ricky and Isaan here. Just going for a little bit of a afternoon walk. It's a nice overcast, cool but very humid day out here in Isaan. I should have got some footage here, but I was very busy yesterday. All these fields here right next to the houses was basically a lake. It was full of water and it's all slowly crept out here, and it's, I guess this land out here goes downhill, which is a good deterrence for floods from the village. Just over here, that's our house, just up there. So all the flood water heads out that way, and there's a large creek that heads to the Chai River on the other side of that big lake, which is the border of Korat and Chayapum. So this is what I was saying, like that was pretty much water yesterday morning, and it all creeps through the pipes under the road here, and that was a lot more full yesterday afternoon. And the water's kept creeping all the way out there. I can see on the other end of this farm there is plenty of water. So great for the rice. It's what the locals need. And today it's probably about 30 degrees, but very humid, like I said. But I mean, this is probably my favourite weather when I'm in Thailand. 30 is great. 30 is almost getting cold once you've lived here for a while. And I don't know, I love the humidity. I hate those scorching 40-degree days. I don't think anyone likes them. But the humidity, perfect. I can deal with that. Yeah, you get a bit sweaty, you got to have a few showers a day, but I'm very comfortable and very used to it now. Here comes the delivery man on his little motorbike. It's looking absolutely stunning, green and watery. Compared to, I feel like it wasn't long ago at all, where I did the vlog on the watermelon or rock melon growing over here. Now it's just green, rice growing and watery. And I can see people out here, people out here, and someone over here, all just coming and checking on their rice throughout the day. This truly is one of the most beautiful times of the year to be in rural Thailand with all the rice growing. I've got bloody dogs everywhere following me. They're not even my dog. It doesn't take much either for this rain to fill the land up with water. We just had a decent storm Sunday night, this past Sunday night. When I was out bike riding, it hit. The winds changed. It was actually going a different direction, but it hit and it didn't stop until after I went to sleep. So I reckon it stopped around 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. And it was that loud at times and continuous that I was actually watching the Austrian Grand Prix, had the TV on max volume, and I just couldn't hear it because the rain was that heavy on the tin roof. And as you can tell, it's just like a whole new landscape all of a sudden. But we'll stop blabbering on about the rice and how fantastic and green the land's looking. And we'll get to today's topic, which I had a bit of an amusing comment a while ago. Who in their right mind would leave Australia and live in Thailand? I've got about 5 reasons with a couple of sub-reasons underneath as to why I left Australia to live in Thailand and why I plan to stay here. We can knock off point number 1. They're not necessarily in any order, but point number 1, why, I mean, and it depends where you come from, but why I wanted to leave Melbourne and come live in Thailand. And today is not the greatest example, although I am enjoying this weather, but it's the weather. You can see the mountains over there, they're looking a bit misty. The air quality is fantastic at the moment. It definitely has its moments. Air quality was really bad in February, March, April this year. Like really bad, like health worrying bad. But now it's brilliant. And if you can put up with a bit of rain, rainy season, you get an hour or 2 of rain, you might get the odd day where it rains all day. But when I looked at the weather for this district that we live in, prior to moving here from Melbourne, where it's, you know, it's summertime and you're still having the odd 4-degree morning waking up for work. When I looked at the weather, the maximums for the whole year for this district, there were 6 or 7 days for the whole year where the maximum was under 27 degrees. That's absolutely brilliant. And obviously everyone is different. Not everyone likes the warmth, but I absolutely love it. And it's one of the reasons I want to live in Thailand. At night, it's great. You can walk around in t-shirt and shorts, while in Melbourne, you're wearing a jumper and pants on a summer's night because it's freezing. My second point, which is also pretty obvious for Thailand, low cost of living. So depending where you live, and you can move anywhere in Thailand and create this, but I mean, if you're moving to some of the more desirable areas, obviously you've got to be a bit more smart and probably create a bit more of an income for yourself while you're there. But low cost of living, so you can essentially escape the so-called matrix. The matrix back home in Melbourne, and I'm sure it's the same in many of these Western nations where you're watching from, you go to work for 12 hours a day. I didn't have to go for 12 hours a day, but it's just ended up what I had to do for my job. So I'm leaving for work before the sun comes up. I'm going home when the sun's come down. You don't eat something crappy for yourself, watch an hour or two of TV and go to bed and do it all over again. So from moving here from Melbourne, where it's quite expensive to buy a house, it's quite expensive to get ahead. It feels like there's always something there coming along. We've moved here, we're making good money in Melbourne, and now I'm making no money. The missus is making decent enough money to pay the bills here, and we can take advantage of that low cost of living and essentially escape the matrix. And my third point, which sort of ties into the second point, is it's a much more relaxing lifestyle compared to back where I'm from anyway. Back where I'm from, the rules and regulations are out of control. I mean, I know the majority of them are there for a reason, to look after the health and safety of the citizens. But I mean, places like Melbourne, and I guess you can use an example of Singapore, it's just crazy the amount of rules you got for everything. And saying that, I'm not saying Thailand has no rules and regulations. Obviously, it's a lot more loose. The roads are like the Wild West. You don't necessarily need as many permits and application, admin work to construct something, to do something like you would back home. You don't need a license necessarily to drive every vehicle. And the majority of people here don't have their license, let's be honest. And to get your license, it's, I mean, I've had a look at it. The paperwork is pretty excessive. You know, it's a bit of a pain for me to do, but I've got the international permit still. But for a Thai to go there and just fill out a few forms, I mean, the requirements aren't that full on, are they, compared to back home? An example, actually yesterday I had a bit of a busy day. I did a good deed and took the missus' cousins and their newborn down to the hospital in Chaipoom. I knocked out a bit of a bike ride throughout the day while I was waiting for him at the hospital. I didn't need to take him, but I took him because I don't have a car and, you know, a newborn, got to go to a hospital. I'll be in a similar situation very soon, obviously. And when I was trying to pick them up, I was talking to the missus on the phone as to, you know, where do I pick them up from? Because they called the missus calls me, and we'll figure it out from there. And unfortunately, I did a U-turn right in front of the police in a spot where it says no U-turns, which is my bad. I broke the road rule. I made the mistake myself and copped a fine for the traffic violation from the local police force. So there definitely are rules here, and they do get regulated, but like I said, it's not as excessive back home. And part of that relaxed lifestyle is, I mean, people are so much happier here. They have less. You might go past someone who's got a house built out of sticks and bamboo and think, wow, they must be living a horrible life. But you go and speak to them, or you speak to someone who knows them, and they could be the happiest people going around. I'm much happier than someone back home who's got their $750,000 house, their two $50,000 cars, their holiday house down the road somewhere, their 150K $1,000-a-year job. But here, I mean, someone has nothing. They've got a few buffaloes, got a few chickens. They're drinking their Lao cow whiskey every night, having their smokes, and they're bloody thrilled. And if they get a bit of money, they're not worried about upgrading their house. They're worried about, you know, oh, I might buy a few lottery tickets. I might buy a few more chickens. Maybe I've got enough for a bit of farmland or a couple more buffalo, compared to all the materialism back home. And then I like to look at the markets that are absolutely everywhere. There's always a night market somewhere. I can go there. I can wear some fake Nike shorts, which actually say 9, which I seriously have for about 100 baht. I can wear a fake F1 shirt. I can wear my hat. This hat was 100 baht. My whole outfit could be 300 baht. And wander around the market. Everyone's happy. No one cares what you're wearing. No one's judging you. Have a great time. Get a nice affordable meal. Have a fun night out here in rural Isaan. Go to a restaurant or something afterwards. And I mean, and it's just things like that everywhere, even out here in rural Isaan. My next point is health. So since moving to Thailand, I've dropped about 15 kilo. I mean, I wasn't necessarily overweight or unhealthy in Melbourne, but just from working my 12-hour-a-day job, and then I get a bit of fish and chips or pizza for dinner because you can't be arsed cooking. And now I'm exercising every day. I'm going for walks. I'm riding the bike every day. I'll go for a walk with the dog at least. And obviously, I think on top of that, the weather. I haven't tried to diet or anything. I've dropped 15 kilos, and it actually happened quite quick. I went back to Australia for the first time only 7 or 8 months after moving here, and people were actually quite shocked with how skinny I got. And I actually had people thinking I was crook, but that was just I mean, I was exercising too much because I enjoy it. It's sort of like a, I don't know. People say it's like a mental relief on your mind, but it's a bit of that for me. But I just like getting out and about and seeing what's going on. And it's not just the exercise and the weather, it's also the food. The food's a lot healthier here. So you're eating a lot more rice-based meals. I can't easily get a pizza every night. I can't get fish and chips at all. The closest McDonald's and Burger King, as much as I'd love to have a Whopper every now and then, the closest Burger King is a 2-hour drive away, either in Konkan City or Nakhon City. So I'm not going to drive 2 hours for a burger. And even the local KFC is 30 minutes away. So I don't necessarily have ease of access to that delicious yet unhealthy fast food. Even getting a bit of pasta is difficult. I could cook it myself, but it's not as easy to get beef mince out here. It'd be all right in Bangkok or if you're living in touristy areas. I'd have pasta nearly every night in Australia because it's just quick and easy and I loved it. Douse it with cheese. I mean, cheese, how expensive is cheese here? And it's not that easy to get the type of cheese you want. So you're sort of forced when you live rural like I have in a village to eat Thai food. And I absolutely love it now. I love my pad kapraos, my pad Thais. I had a whole heap of comments on my last video of everybody sharing their favourite dishes, so I got heaps to share. My wonton soup. I love my wonton soup here. Just eating local, the weather and all the exercise, it's just so much healthier overall compared to sitting in an office all day, or we were short on staff and I was out driving the trucks and then I was having a meat pie every day. And just generally my mental health and my physical health is so much better from living here. And my final point, which ties to me and the missus, is the last point as to why we left Australia to move to Thailand, as ridiculous as it seemed to that commenter, was happiness. I mean, the missus didn't really like Australia that much. She had a decent enough job as a cook. I had a good job. We're making good money, but I mean, there's no community. You just go home, you're alone, you don't know your neighbours here. You know everyone in the village, everyone's happy, everyone's having a chat to you, everyone says hello to you. We go anywhere, everyone's asking, where are you going? They're not being nosy, they're just generally curious where you're going. And overall life, we're just so much happier here. I'm definitely happier not waking up at 4 o'clock every morning now. She's with her family and friends, which was one of the main points for her. She wanted to be back with her mum and that. And her dad's been very crook for a while now. My family and friends I can stay in touch with quite easily over Messenger. I mean, I don't know how I'd go 20 years ago when not everyone had the internet. The internet was still on dial-up. I don't even know if you could get it out here in Thailand then. So we're very fortunate that with the way technology is these days, that you can stay in contact with everybody so easily. And I mean, my hobbies, you got to have hobbies. Cycling, I'm cycling more, so I'm happier. Watching sport, I love watching sport. Formula One, American football, Australian football, even a bit of baseball. And I can tune in to every single game. I've got no necessarily commitments like being at work every Monday in Australia and you can't watch American football, which I absolutely love. I can catch the night games of the AFL because back when I was working in the West, I was too tired to stay awake past 8 p.m. most nights. Formula One, absolutely fantastic with the Thai time zone. All the European races are on at 7 or 8 p.m. That's absolutely brilliant. You finish dinner and straight into the Grand Prix compared to 11 p.m. back home in Melbourne. And even hobbies that not everyone might be fond of, like just playing my PS5, you know. I can squeeze in a couple of hours of PS5 a day if I want to have a bit of a game. So I'm not necessarily sacrificing anything living here. Yeah, I can't catch up with my mates all the time, but I found as we got older, as we got onto proper jobs coming out of, you know, university and school, you start catching up with your mates less and less, and the mates you more catch up with and talk to the most of your mates at work. I'm still in touch with all my old mates, of course, but this whole time in Australia during the pandemic, after the pandemic into now, I mean, the odds of us catching up, still for all that, we probably would have caught up once or twice. The 2 times I've been back to Australia, we then have that reason to catch up because I'm back in town. So I feel as if catching up with mates, we don't really have that, I'm not really having that sacrifice. And I've even got mates who are planning to come here. And if they come here and they only go to Bangkok or something, that's fine. I go down and travel to them. If they come up here and see where I live, you know, that's awesome too. But we've still got that reason to catch up and they've got a reason to come here. So I think it's fantastic. And part of that happiness as well, just general life. I don't know, when you're working hard, you're underslept, you're eating crap, I just felt like you get angry over stupid stuff back home. Even just driving a car, someone merges in front of you. I mean, they have the right to do that, you know, they haven't done anything wrong, but it's just stuff like that upsets you. While here, you might see the stupidest crap on the road you might see the most ridiculous thing happen in front of you. Some guy does a U-turn, everyone has to slow down for him. And I just feel like it doesn't upset me, I don't care, because I'm grateful and happy to be living in this country. But so they're my 5 reasons as to why I left Australia for Thailand. And I'm not necessarily giving trolls attention. I didn't really care about the comment. And it was, the comment was there quite a while ago now, 3 or 4 weeks. And just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it pops up every now and then. And every time I see it, it just amuses me that some individual, and I know everyone's different, people love the hustle and the rat race back home, but it just amused me that some individual thinks it's ridiculous that I would leave Australia to come live here. And everyone's got their own preferences, and that's fine, but I mean, it's the best decision I've done in my life, and I hope I can stay here for the rest of my life, but obviously things can change. And there's probably 25 other points I could bring up as well, but I can't just get them all into one video, and I can't just think of them all on the spot right now compared to what I've already brought up. Geez, bit of water in this lot over here. From here, it definitely moves all the way over here as well from memory last year. So it must sort of come down, I don't know, under that road over there somehow. But they're my reasons as to why I left Australia for Thailand. And I absolutely love it. Yeah, give us a follow on Instagram at rickyisaan, and we'll see you next video. Thanks for watching.